guys, it's me again, Angie, and welcome to another video. For today's video, I'm going to answer the inside activities in Chapter 6 in NetAcad, which is Network Layer. So I will go to the course index to find the activity. The first activity is the 6.1.2.6. This one. So for the instruction, read each IP characteristic, then click connectionless, best effort, or media independent to indicate its delivery method. So here is the given, and then I will click here for the correct one. So does not guarantee the packet will be delivered fully without errors. So it's here for best effort. Will send a packet even if the destination host is not able to receive it. Connectionless. Packet delivery is not guaranteed. Best effort. Will adjust the size of the packet sent depending on what type of network access will be used. Media independent. No contact is made with the destination host before sending a packet. Connectionless. Fiber optics cabling, satellites, and wireless can all be used to route the same packet. So as you can see, all my answers are correct. For the next activity, 6.1.3.3, we will go here again to the course index. Activity header fields. So the instruction is read each IPv4 header function and then click the IPv4 header field to which it belongs. Identifies the upper layer protocol to be used next. So it's here for it belongs to protocol. Identifies the IP address of the recipient host. So it belongs in destination IP address. Always set to 0100 for IPv4. It belongs to the version. Identifies the priority of each packet. It belongs to the differentiated services, commonly referred to as hop count. It belongs to time to live. IPv4 header functions is identifies the IP address of the sending host. It belongs to source IP address. So as you can see, all my answers are correct. For the next activity, 6.1.4.6, IPv6. Read each IPv6 header description and then click the IPv6 header field to which it belongs. So we will do it again. To suggest that all packets receive the same type of handling by IPv6 routers, it belongs to the flow level. Identifies the size of the data portion of the data. Identifies the size of the data portion of the packet. It belongs to the payload length. Is always set to 0110, so it belongs to the version of IPv6. Identifies the application type to the upper layer protocol. It belongs to the next header. When this value reaches 0, the sender is notified that the packet was not delivered. So it belongs to the hop limit. And lastly, classifies packets for congestion control traffic class. So all my answers are correct. And then for the next activity 6.2.2.8, identify elements of a router routing table entry. So the instruction is a partial router routing table entry is shown. Each section of the entry is identified by a circle letter above it. Select the correct routing table entry section for each output. So the first one is the elapsed time since the network was discovered. So here are the choices: A, B, C, D, E, and F. A refers to D, B refers to 192.168.1.0/24, C refers to 90/3072, D refers to via 192.168.1.3.1, E refers to 603, F refers to gigabit Ethernet 0/0. So the first is the elapsed time since the network was discovered, the administrative distance, source, and the metric to reach the remote network, how the network was learned by the router. So my answer here is letter A. Shows the destination network. My answer is B. The next hop IP address to reach the remote network. My answer is D. And then lastly, the outgoing interface on the router to reach the destination network. So we're going to click check to check if my answers are correct. So as you can see, all answers are correct. For the next activity, 6.3.1.7, identify router components. For the instruction of this activity, descriptions of router functions and hardware parts are provided in the table. Drag each router component name to its function or description. Connects routers to external networks, usually over a large distance. So my answer here is one interface. A way to remotely access the CLI across a network interface, Telnet or the SSH. Connects computers, switches, and routers for internal networking, LAN interface. A local port which uses USB or low-speed serial connections to manage network devices. My answer here is console port. A port to manage routers using telephone lines and modems. So my answer here is AUX port. So I'm going to click check to know if my answers are all correct. So as you can see, I have successfully matched the router component names to their functions or descriptions. For the last activity, 6.3.2.6, I'm going to find it here again in the course index. The activity is entitled the router boot process. So for the instruction, drag each of the steps on the left to appropriate field in the table, on the right to show the router boot process order. So I'm going to drag this given to here for the steps for the correct steps in router boot process order. So for me, the first one is to perform post or the hardware check performed by built-in ROM chip. The next is load bootstrap copied from the ROM to RAM, locates the iOS, then load the iOS operating system file for the router loaded into RAM. After Bootstrap finds the iOS file to be used. And lastly, load the configuration file from Flash and VRAM, a TFTP server, or to go into setup mode to create a configuration file. So I have successfully listed the order of the router boot process, and so as you can see, my answers are all correct. So thank you for watching and see you on my next video. Bye!